criminal model of Nazon Joaquin Garcia in Latin America. I, Alexis Esteban Carreño Dandria, in full possession of my faculties and of sound mind, present to the international community the facts that describe one of the most dangerous structures currently operating in Latin America. This concerns the exportation of the same sectarian model of Nazon Joaquin Garcia, leader of La Luz del Mundo, who has already been prosecuted and convicted in the United States for sexual crimes and human trafficking. 1. Replication of the sectarian model on a continental scale. The same practices once carried out in the temples of La Luz del Mundo: isolation, absolute control of information, religious manipulation, and sexual and economic exploitation, are today being replicated across Latin America. This model employs fake news and disinformation to control the collective consciousness. Influencers, singers, and digital preachers who disguise sectarian propaganda as entertainment or faith. Massive digital surveillance, with cable networks and monitoring systems operating in multiple countries, controlling citizens' information. 2. Criminal practices hidden under the name of God. The structure spreading across the region is not limited to cultural manipulation. Human sacrifices and forced disappearances, including children and teenagers. Human trafficking and exploitation for sexual, labor, and ritual purposes. Targeted assassinations and political persecution used as methods of control. Drug trafficking and money laundering networks, protected under religious and cultural facades. All of this is committed in the name of God, Jesus Christ, Yeshua. Yet in reality, it follows the doctrine of a man who proclaimed himself the sole interpreter of the Bible, denying the Holy Trinity and twisting the foundations of Christian faith to justify atrocious crimes. 3. International consequences. The scope of this network is not only Latin American. It represents a direct clash with the principles upheld by nations in the Middle East and Israel, where faith and spiritual integrity are pillars of national identity. When the Middle East confirms that God's symbols are being used to cover crimes against humanity, that in the name of Yeshua's sacrifices, trafficking, and cultural manipulation are being committed, and that Latin America as a whole has allowed this digital, political, and religious sect to operate with impunity, the repercussions will be grave and will require a coordinated international response. 4. International legal grounds. The described facts fall under the gravest violations of international law. Crimes against humanity, Rome Statute, International Criminal Court. Palermo Convention, 2000, on human trafficking and transnational organized crime. Universal Declaration of Human Rights, UN, 1948, Articles 3, 5, 18, and 19. International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, UN, 1966. Laws of the Middle East and Israel, which prohibit blasphemy, the distortion of the sacred, and the instrumentalization of God's name to commit crimes. 5. Urgent call. What is taking place in Latin America is an attack against humanity, against true faith, and against the peoples who still defend the sacred. Therefore, I, Alexis Esteban Carreño Dandria, denounce that I am a direct victim of this system, which to this day conspires against me. International